There we go. Sorry, I was having a little bit of trouble getting the YouTube live stream to work, but it is now a go. So just give me one more minute to get that link copied and pasted into our AMA archive. Excellent. Okay. Well, once again, welcome everyone. It's been another 2 weeks here, and quite some interesting price action in the markets. But just wanted to go ahead and jump into the things I had for this week. Just one or two different announcements to make, and then moving on to the different AMA questions, which we actually got a decent amount from the past 2 weeks, so we will dig into some of those questions. But first, did want to mention that around 2 weeks ago, Layer Zero did finish launching its governance token ZRO, which means that eligible users for the campaign can claim their tokens. There is a link in the community notes section under ecosystem in the Sphere Discord for where and how to claim ZRO. And please, please, please only use the official links and be wary of scam links, scam claim dashboards. Only use the official links for any type of token claiming. Hopefully you all have had an opportunity to claim those already, but I did want to mention it because that came after last time's AMA. Awesome, good to hear, T1. Okay, and then next, of course, kind of an echo from last time regarding the ecosystem. Our primary focus remains on Prion and Dyson. Dyson to continue working to improve its UI UX, and of course Prion with Prion V2, for which I can say we are getting close. Let me take a quick pause. Anyone have any immediate questions? All right. Let me jump into some of the questions from last time. And there were actually quite a few questions from this individual, Neo Viper. So if you're listening, let's go through these different questions here. So I'm going to break them down one by one, kind of. Some of them can be grouped together. So I'll address them as best I can here. So Neo Viper had asked a few different things. How does the team measure success? Is it when projects are mostly done or launched? The TVL on all projects or market cap of Sphere? The amount of wallet users that use the Sphere ecosystem? Higher and higher revenue as a whole? What's the goal of Sphere? Roadmap, direction, that kind of thing. So I wanted to address this and say that success can be measured in a vast multitude of different ways. Oh, hey, what's up, Neo Viper? Success can be measured in a vast multitude of different ways, and we take all of those factors into consideration. At the end of the day, as a startup project, one of the things that is key is revenue and profitability, and we have done an excellent job from a treasury standpoint over the past year in terms of preserving and building treasury assets. There are many goals within the project, and as we work towards those goals, many times we have to pivot based on market conditions or on the fact that the DeFi markets are rapidly developing and changing. Regardless, we do maintain our overarching goal of creating an ecosystem where Sphere is at the center. It is not helpful per se to target a specific TVL or market cap. a specific number of users, or even specific revenue goals, because these aspects will change sometimes dramatically over time and will be changing all the time. So we can't necessarily hold ourselves to any specific goals with that. Overall, we simply do aim to do the best that we can and build the best possible ecosystem that we can for our community. All right. The next of NeoViper's set of questions was, how many people are currently working on all projects, in-house, no outsourcing? There are around a dozen or so of us working on all projects in-house. We have outsourced at times, and that is still open as an option. As with many things, the number of people working on the project, be it in-house or even outsourced, will change over time, depending on market conditions and the needs of the project. But on the whole, we are a relatively small team, working on these different projects and goals as outlined for Sphere. Is there a reason why our liquidity isn't locked? So our liquidity is locked behind a multi-sig, and this ensures that no action can occur without the consent and direction of the team as a whole. Our liquidity is not locked in the traditional sense of what you're referring to, primarily in the interest of yield maximization and to limit opportunity cost. So if we lock liquidity, the Treasury will be unable to take advantage of any potential changes in strategy that could net the Treasury a greater revenue source from the liquidity via yield farming. It also allows the flexibility to change the home base of the liquidity should it be necessary in the event of any unforeseen circumstances. Say, for example, and I certainly hope this never happens, but say Balancer experiences a significant exploit and we need to shift our strategy. This would actually give us the flexibility to change gears via that multi-sig if need be. But it is a good question. And lastly, from before, on the Sphere page, NeoViper had asked, on the Sphere page is a place to link performance reports. It seems like an easy task to do so, but there's a notification. Links will be posted here soon. Correct. So the goal is to link the quarterly reports, which are the financial reports, on the Sphere page. And just in general, while many tasks seem like they're easy to do, and most of them are, we are, again, a small team with many tasks on our list, and we constantly have to prioritize and shift that priority of those tasks depending on what comes up and our goals at the time. So right now, our primary focus is on Prion V2, and while it seems that these seemingly simple tasks are maybe ignored, they are in fact simply not as high priority as other tasks that require a great deal of time and effort. So at the end of the day, we are aware that these things need updating, and we do appreciate you guys continuing to point it out and remind us as well. It's just we have a lot of other things on our plate that we need to prioritize and do take up a lot of our time. But the feedback is, as always, very helpful. I love this name, Cowabunga, not DM. Whatever happened to the ambition of Sphere price of $1 each? Interesting question from the AMA questions. We have many ambitions for Sphere and the ecosystem, and this statement was initially meant as a lighthearted, bullish sentiment for the token. However, we have moved away from making any sort of statements or claim about the price of the token, as we do not want to be misleading or offer any sort of information that could be construed as financial advice. So, as with any financial investment, please do your own assessment of potential risks and benefits, your own assessment of the team and the value of the project, and then please make your financial decisions based on those assessments. But all in all, a very fair question. The next question from AMA Questions comes from Bert Happendragon. Not likely, but just a random thought I'm throwing out there. Since POL has been launched and Polygon could supposedly have restaking by the end of the year, could Sphere leverage that by offering rewards in some way? Like maybe in Sphere that's bought off the market. The stakers can then either sell for a quick buck or participate within the Sphere ecosystem. Just a thought. It's definitely an interesting thought and something worth considering. I would say in managing the treasury and ecosystem, there are few things that have not been considered when it comes to potential yield opportunities, treasury strategies, yield sphere yield opportunities for the ecosystem. And there are always going to be many different factors to consider within that. And so we can't necessarily make any promises, nor do we know exactly how the POL token and Polygon ecosystem will play out, but we are certainly excited for what it and the ag layer will bring. So very, very good question. All right, Pentopia, thanks for your question here in AMA chat. Are you doing anything to improve price? I would say that all of the work that we're doing is an effort to improve the ecosystem, and through that, the value of the ecosystem, what that value brings to users, including the Sphere holders and Sphere yield lockers. And through that, if people see that value and want to take advantage of that value, that can help improve the price by people being more interested in obtaining Sphere to earn that yield and exposure to the Sphere ecosystem. Which leads me into my next point, which I didn't think I would be having the honor and pleasure of announcing. But very rarely I get the opportunity to drop some alpha. And for those of you who are here, we greatly, greatly appreciate your patience, your time, your support, because it is indeed time. So I would like to announce that Prion will be launching on Scroll today. It is coming. It is here. The time is now. And I'm so happy I get to make that announcement. I do want to say, that there will be an initial 5% swap fee in the beginning because of bots launching night. So perhaps just be on standby. But we are announcing the launch of Prion V2. I'm so happy. I'm psyched. I'm stoked. I'm very excited. We are getting closer and closer to the turn of the epoch. And all of those many, many months of hard work will finally come forward. We can finally deliver this to you guys. You guys have been waiting so patiently. You've been so supportive. There's been a lot of ups and downs in the market. We just really appreciate your patience with all of that. And the time is now. So that being said, for the few of you here to witness, any immediate questions, thoughts? Yeah, you guys are pretty keen. We figured a lot of you would start to piece together what was going on before it was happening. Scroll is a layer 2 Ethereum layer 2 network. Very fast, efficient, cheap transaction fees. right? Everything that you'd want in an L2. Prion V2 will open so many things now for the ecosystem. Of course, we've been talking about it for so long, but just to reiterate again, with Prion V2 finally in place, it gives us the opportunity to introduce more collateral options that can include vaults on Dyson, so that we can optimize Dyson vaults to then be leveraged through Prion, introducing much more synergy into the ecosystem than there already currently is. It opens the door for projects like Sphere Lend to come into play more, to really start to put these building blocks together to optimize the ecosystem. What a great question, Oligorn. What is new with Prion 2.0? So yeah, why don't we just dive into that for a little bit? I don't want to spoil it too much, of course, because you'll see for yourselves, but in just a matter of time here. But Prion V2 comes with the Prion token. Now, the Prion token is a yield token, and it is also a governance token of Prion. It is an overarching picture. Users will be able to earn yield in the form of Prion, and that Prion can then, or technically will be earning yield in the form of OPrion, which is option Prion, and then users will have the option to convert that into Prion to sell on the market, or to convert that OPrion into VE Prion, which is the vote escrowed version of Prion, in order to earn revenue from the and bribes from Prion itself. Exactly, T1. That's exactly correct. That is why this 5% swap fee will be there initially. That is not something that's going to be there long term, but it will be there initially to ensure that there are no snipers, anything funky going on. Welcome to the chat, Sim. Great to see you. So we are, what, 2 hours and 10 minutes away from the Epoch flip. So we are very close. We are very close. And again, I'm just so happy I finally get to announce some alpha. It's very rare that I am gifted with that, and I am just honored and very happy to be able to do so. Good questions so far. Any other questions or thoughts about the launch of Prion V2? Obviously, with the launch of Prion V2, oh, I was watching, yes. We will be moving forward more with different. Oh, there you go. Yep. Tokens Discord. Very good. Moving forward with different marketing campaigns for Prion, we will be rolling out different educational content for Prion V2. The whole shebang, different announcements. So we obviously want to keep you guys informed as well with respect to the process. Hopefully we can anticipate different new people coming into the ecosystem, and we just encourage people to be open to the newcomers, and there will be a lot of repeat questions, I'm sure. So we just want to tackle those one at a time. Understand that some patience will sometimes be needed to assist people throughout that process, and just to support people as they enter into the Sphere and Prion ecosystem. I'm excited too, Harbor. So yeah, not too much else to say. I mean, it's finally here. It's finally coming to fruition. All the hard work that's been going on behind the scenes. And again, a shout out, massive shout out to all your guys' patience in that process. We really, really do appreciate your patience and support. Beyond that, I don't have any more announcements. I don't have any more uh, AMA questions. Do you guys have anything else that you'd like to add? I'm just kind of shaking in anticipation. Is there a timeline or a release date? Today, Freon V2 will be launching today in just over 2 hours. Quick question. Notice there's a separate Discord server for Preon. Any particular reason why we aren't making a separate channel or something for it in the Sphere Discord server? We can probably go a little bit more into this later, but there will be a separate Discord, so we'll make announcements for that, get people shifted over. Ultimately, we wanted to ensure that we could properly address all things Preon in a streamlined and efficient way, and we thought the best way to do that was to create a separate server. So we will be transitioning to Preon's own server to manage that. But of course, Sphere will remain the core of the ecosystem and the primary hub for everything Sphere, including Preon. So that was something that we went back and forth on quite a bit. Oligor and random question. Any thoughts on Matic? Seems to be lacking in this market. Any plans on moving away or anything like that? Not necessarily. The thing I think about even Ethereum and Polygon is that they both have tremendous value. And what Polygon is building, especially with the ag layer, has tremendous value. And I think a lot of value-based crypto is kind of being put to the wayside right now for flash and hype. And, those types of cycles happen. But it doesn't take away from the value that's being built. So even if in the short term, the performance on Matic seems lackluster, I don't think that speaks to the long-term performance or potential of performance for Polygon Matic. Oh, I forgot my water. It has been a very strange market. I think actually Jesse Eckel was talking about this in one of his videos and podcasts that I think made a lot of sense to me, which is that this cycle it seems different because of the ETFs. The ETFs pushed Bitcoin significantly higher than it had previously pre-halving. And so that created kind of an odd market condition. But despite that, I think the overarching cycles are still in play. But, that all comes with the normal disclaimers of this is not financial advice, this is just my opinion, that sort of thing. Great question. How will Preon V2 help Sphere? The primary way is that the Sphere Treasury will obtain a significant amount of VE Preon. VE Preon is the governance token of Preon. VE Preon is capable of earning the yield that's generated through Preon, as well as earning bribes by voting on Preon. And that yield will be able to be funneled directly to Sphere holders through the yield locking of Sphere. So, and this is the overarching concept of Sphere from the beginning, is by building out this ecosystem, the Sphere token gradually becomes a more diversified, more um, how would I say? I guess, yeah, a more diversified yield bearing token thanks to this ecosystem. Oligorn, I missed a lot of things, TBH. So busy for the past year, no clue what's going on. Thanks for the response. You're very welcome. Yeah, I feel like the ag layer, it's something that came up, was talked about a little bit, and then just kind of fell off again. But there's so much amazing potential in the ag layer, uh, in just having access to so much liquidity on so many different chains seamlessly. I mean, that's what's needed in crypto and DeFi, and Polygon is building that. So it's really fascinating. Obviously, we will have to wait and see how it will play out. But from a conceptual standpoint, I think it's fascinating. I think it's very high value and very needed in the space. Just imagine and think about all these other chains that are being brought up and the struggle of liquidity and profitability. The ag layer kind of takes care of that. T1, any idea on how long the 5% swap fee will last? Not certain. I'm sure that there are multiple factors that will go into that. I would just say to stand by and see how the first few minutes or even hours go. We certainly want to be careful. All right, very good, very good. Any other questions or comments? You guys excited? It's finally here. I tell you, the blood, sweat, and tears that has gone into this. Need more people in the audience. That's okay. We kind of did it this way intentionally, and for those of you who are here to get the news early, then more power to you. We really appreciate your support. Right. What can I do to take advantage of this alpha? Well, once Prion V2 is launched, you'll be able to access it. Prion in its entirety. You'll have access to the all of the functions that are available there. As you navigate that, and you can make decisions uh, based on that, your assessment of the project and protocol, of course. But you're always also welcome to ask us questions in the Discord if anything comes up as you're navigating Prion V2. We will be here to help. And as I mentioned, we'll be rolling out more educational content, more marketing content to really push this thing forward. And T1 also kind of answers your question there. Fefe. Thank you, Harbor. I do appreciate that. Um, Huge shout out to the entire team for putting in as much work as has been put in to bring Prion V2 together. Is Prion lending similar to Liquidity? Um, it would technically be called borrowing. So in that sense, yes. So Prion offers 0% interest borrowing of the Star stablecoin for different collateral options. And Prion maintains an over collateralized ratio for the Star stablecoin. Is there risk of redemption? Do you mean for the Star stablecoin? I see Weaver typing away as well. Hmm. Oops. Well, while Weaver is typing, I would say, oh, okay. So in Liquidity, you can, of course, be liquidated if you're under collateralized, but you can also be redeemed against if someone repays the LUSD. You do not lose money, just your ETH. I think I will wait for Weaver to respond to that one. Oh, meaning that if you put in 10k ETH, borrow 2k, someone can redeem against you and you'll collect 8k ETH and not need to pay back the loan. No, the only reason that your position would be closed is if you are liquidated or intentionally close the loan. Weaver may have more clarification on that, though. I see. So thank you, Weaver, for the clarification. So redemptions are only profitable when Star drops below a certain value. So if a redemption is set to be profitable at 98 cents, but you perform a redemption at $1, you're losing 2 cents for each star you use. Oh, no, no, you're good. I appreciate all the questions, even when I don't know the full answer. Very good. Any other questions about Prion, the Prion token, Prion V2, Sphere, the Sphere ecosystem, Dyson? If not, I'm good to see. It's good to see. I see Oligorn typing, so let's see. How come all the vaults on Dyson are for base? At least for right now. We have a lot of vaults on Dyson for base, primarily because aerodrome on base had a lot of good yield. Yeah, exactly. Base has been king for quite a while now, and uh, we just want to take advantage of that. But of course, we can continue to plan to expand Dyson, increase the vaults available, and in turn increase the collateral options available on Prion. I will absolutely be making several videos about Prion in the next coming weeks and months, really. We want to make sure you guys know how to utilize it to its fullest capabilities, what's going on, all the nuances, details, all of that. Any plan for marketing Dyson? Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely wrapped up in Prion as well. All in good time. Obviously, with the launch of Prion in literally less than 2 hours, Prion V2, we will be focusing a lot on Prion. But Dyson is still the yield maximizer of the ecosystem. It's still core to the ecosystem. So, we're certainly going to keep Dyson rolling forward. Do we know when the detailed tokenomics will be released? I assume it's likely there will be new collateral vaults on Scroll. Will there be a Prion Star pool when Star is ready on Scroll? Essentially, yes to all. All in good time. All these things require consideration in terms of profitability. What's best for the ecosystem? What's best for the Star stablecoin peg? What's best for the Prion token? So all of those details will be ironed out in time. But with the launch of Prion will also come Prion's documents, going a bit more into tokenomics and whatnot. And obviously with Prion V2 itself, the dashboard, all those different things, you'll have an idea of the different tokenomics and how all those things work together. Very good. Very good. Any other questions? If not, we may start to wrap things up here. And I will be anxiously pacing, awaiting the turn of the epoch. Yeah, all right. I think we will call it here, guys. So, again, I really just have to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support and your patience. We know it's taken a long time. We wanted and needed to make sure that everything was in line and that we could move forward in the best way possible with Prion V2. And we're so excited that we're finally there and can show you guys all of that hard work and just get this going, because it has been a long time coming. All right. Today as well, there you go. More deets from the peeps who have more info than I do. Still see some people typing, so give those guys a chance. We had to take a lot of into consideration about which network to launch on. And ultimately, we came to Scroll as a very good choice. Again, layer 2 network, fast, efficient, cheap in terms of transactions. So in terms of being able to expand the ecosystem and really start to establish a wide reaching launch, that's the one that had made the most sense at the time. Of course, we do plan to expand to other chains, hopefully soon. Of course, we just have to see how things go with the initial launch and go from there. Yeah. So like Weaver said, very cheap, 7 cents per transaction, efficient, fast, everything you want in an L2. And I do believe Stargate has good cross-chain bridging, better rates than Polygon right now. Yeah. All right, guys. I think I will wrap things up there. Don't want to take away any more of you guys' time. Really do appreciate everything for you guys being here, and really excited to see how this plays out. Hopefully, you guys can be there for launch, and we certainly will. And please, please, please reach out if you have any questions, any concerns as things go forward here. We'll be watching, we'll be responding, we'll be communicating. And yeah, just once again, massive, huge thank you for your support. All right. Well, take care, everyone. Always remember that you matter for who you are. Have a great one. Let's all kick back and watch the alpha unfold. Enjoy the launch, and we'll be seeing you guys real soon. Get some more content out for you guys. Take care. When are we gonna see some upward push in the Sphere token itself? When people start to buy the Sphere token. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great rest of your day. And free on V2. What can I say? All right.